All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. It's Aviation Thursday, the debut. We are in the Aramaki MB-339 Alpha, going from Grosseto to Grazzanise. I'm probably butchering the names a little bit. I apologize in advance. About a 40-minute flight. Now, before we get started, streaming rules and regulations require me to give you the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are currently flying the Aramaki MB-339 Alpha. We are departing from Grosseto and we are headed to Grazzanise. I am currently not accepting requests for flights. Any other information is located below the video. Also, Mondays and Wednesdays and eventually Fridays is vintage aviation-themed flights. Tuesday is jetliners, including regional jets. Thursday is military aviation. Saturdays is P-38 Lightning flights. Sunday is scenic flights. This announcement will be provided throughout the flight and anytime somebody asks any questions. Let's get ready to go. Says no data right off the bat. Love it, even though I have an excellent connection. Okay. I gotta keep an eye on that in case the that closed. All right, and get Right, let's lay in our first VOR, or VORTEC actually, or no, VOR DME, 1140. All right, there's that. Need power on. I think it's already on, but let's just double check here. Yep. Get your lights set. All right, let's go ahead and call in. I don't know why my co-pilot was not handling the radio, but okay. Let's try a west departure. There we go, that's what I was looking for. So we have this cool kind of camouflage livery with some red on it. I thought that would be a kind of an interesting sort of theme for today's flight. Might be quiet today for some reason or another. That's fine. Right. I know that I need to do something else here. I need to change this to 120. Somebody's watching and not saying boo. That's fine. Now the thing about this aircraft is there's no autopilot, so once I get going I am going to be kind of flying it by hand. Or not even kind of, I will essentially have to fly it by hand. But I will be checking the chat in case anybody decides to say hello. Alright, I think we are all set. Otherwise, let's see. Yep, I think we are all set. Alright, let's go. Give the old crusty salute to our departing airport. Let's see how far off we are. Well, I think we are. Oh, we are pretty close to it. Nice. Oops. Up, 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 up. Now the great thing is, oh, I gotta change it to this, and I gotta change it to that. Okay. So this does have a counter. It'll tell us how close we are to our VOR or anything, whatever we're using for our navigation systems. But yeah, there's no autopilot. Trying to get this thing to kind of settle down is a bit tricky. Yeah, I don't want it to climb. I'm trying to get this thing to kind of stop climbing, but it is really... Now it's kind of nosed over. It just seemed like it had. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. I don't know what to say because nobody's talking. So next military aviation themed day is the 28th. We will be going from former Moffett Naval Air Station to the area, if you know what I mean. The area. That is our next week's flight. Do not expect that you're going to see anything, secret or whatever. Of course, anything has been, whatever they took, of course, it's not, a lot of that information has been blotted out. So do not think you're going to see some super top secret aircraft there in the area or anything. So that's not what it's going to be. So, but we should have a nice little flight going out there next Thursday. Wow, why did this thing suddenly nose over? This thing is really difficult to kind of trim out, it seems. Anyways, tomorrow we'll be back doing some viewer requested flights. Barcelona to London Gatwick and Homer to Girdwood. 2 flights. The Barcelona Gatwick flight will probably most likely take the longest, but the Girdwood flight should be fairly straightforward. Should be some nice scenery. Anyway, I guess I'm just going to go silent for a while since nobody's talking. Oh, here we go. If you missed it at the beginning, there it is. I have to read my script here. Streaming rules and regulations require me to give you the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are currently flying the MB-339 Alpha. We departed from Grosseto and we are headed to Grazzanise, or that's where our destination is today. Both of them are Italian air bases. I'm not currently accepting requests for flights. Mondays and Wednesdays and eventually Fridays is vintage aviation-themed flights. Tuesday is jetliners including regional jets. Thursday is military aviation. Saturday is P-38 Lightning flights. And Sunday is scenic flights. Any other information is located below the video. Thank you. I think there was a... That's right, we don't have to have the beeping and all that. Here's our plane. Matter of fact, we're gonna close this for a moment because we are generally heading the correct direction. Get our picture of the day. Oh, speaking of which, we had a really nice flight over Australia last night. Found the is it Phillip Island? It's a racetrack. I think the V8 supercars used to race there. I think they still do. It's also used for motorcycle racing. I think any other kind of saloon car racing takes place there. Well, this looks pretty sharp, I think. Yeah, we had a really nice flight last night with Captain Marish. Put my little map on just to double check validate our information and such. Oops. Across the line somehow. Hello, Mick. Nice to see you here. So this is a primarily a training sort of jet for, I think for Italian pilots who are wanting to get into aviation. I think they have to fly this and show competency in it before they can move on to other aircraft in their inventory. I think it's a pretty neat plane. It's also been in other areas of the world that they've exported it out to other United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates flies it. Okay, there's CMP, and now I got to go to 11560. Oops, and I'm going way off course here. And the heading of... Oh, so if we just basically stay on the same heading. Not a huge change in our direction. So yeah, United Arab Emirates flies it. I think Malaysian Air Force flies it. Because I think it can also be utilized for like ground attack roles for small fighter aircraft. So yeah, but it's mainly based out of Italy. So we're flying it here, and then eventually when we come back to it, we'll fly it in another country somewhere. All right. So 50. I think this is the previous one was our longest distance, but this is only 50 nautical miles. We're going along at a pretty good clip, I think, in order to get, so it shouldn't take us long to get to our final destination there in Grazzanise, and we'll call in for landing clearance and bring it around and put it on the ground. Also, I did go back. I found out some stuff about the Fokker F.VIIb, and I'm going to have to practice a little bit with it, but I did find there was a sort of a manual for the aircraft on the Microsoft Flight Simulator website that kind of tells you what you need to do in preparation for landing. And in looking at all that, it was like, I see why we kind of had the problem we did. So, but we'll have that information kind of available, or I will for me, so that I can kind of focus on what I need to do to bring the aircraft to slow it down, because we don't have flaps. It's you're managing everything basically by the throttle. So. All right, let's see how much more. 33 nautical miles, almost 32. Those mirrors aren't very useful, but that's okay. They look kind of dirty though, don't they? They look like they're all spotted, like they need to be replaced. Surprised Mr. Addies hasn't popped in. Or Amela for that matter. It's like, it's super quiet today, surprisingly, but that's alright. I'm sure people will watch it when they have the time. I should dial this in correctly. Either I've scared everybody off, I don't know. I did get some feedback on Saturday's flight, and which I do appreciate. I don't want people to think that they can't give me suggestions and all. The thing that concerns me most, you know, this person brought up some valid points that maybe I was rude to one of the viewers who was asking a question, and questions are expected. that's, you know, as a streamer, you're wanting to interact with the audience wants to interact with you, you know, and I shouldn't be angry when they ask a question. And I get that. I do. Can it be partial opening lock? I didn't never saw that before. Anyway, but the interesting thing is, right? And I know this is why we have mods. You know, most channels have moderators to kind of keep things under control. But, you know, why is it that the streamer is the one that is supposed to be the to take a moment, take a breath, not get angry when it's the same question gets asked? You know, when you try to provide information, you put stuff below the video, you try to say stuff, and wow, we are already here at our next waypoint. Hold on just a second. 11290. And that is on a heading of 122. So why does nobody tell the viewers that they need to maybe think about their questions or something? You know, like I get it. They want that interaction. I completely understand it. But it's like you give all this information. It's like it goes in one ear and out the other. And I said the problem is sorting out who has a legitimate question, right, versus a person who comes in every day and asks the same stuff over and over and over again. You know, not like I've had that where, you know, Joe has the channel mascot who asks this, you know, like, what game are you playing? And Joe kind of has fun with it, but for other people in the chat, it's not as funny because it's like, dude, you know what it's like, you know what it says in the title, and all that information is there. But I get it, Joe just kind of has a laugh. But why is it that the viewer is not, the people in the chat aren't told, hey, this is you know, this is what we do, and you know, this is the expectations I have of you as viewers. Why isn't the viewer ever held accountable for their, you know? And I get it. Sometimes it's a language barrier, and they're not quite 100% sure. But it's like, I don't know what else to do to overcome that, you know. And some people may speak the same language and are able to translate, but they can't be here always. You know, that's not a fair expectation. But you know, why do I guess I'm trying to figure out why is it that, you know, I don't know, you know, why am the one that's being held accountable? Because I get frustrated because people are asking, you know, if you asked me the question yesterday and then you come in and tell me to ask me again today, I'm like, I kind of feel like you're just having a joke at me. Like, you know, you never paid attention to what I said the day before. And, you know, but he said, yeah, if you're rude to your viewers, then people aren't going to want to watch. And I guess today is a very prime example. Only Mick is here watching. Nobody else can be bothered. Normally at this point, I have at least 5 or 6 people in. So I guess, yeah, maybe this is my punishment for my actions. I don't know. So that's why I came up last night while I was flying with Captain Arish. We were just kind of cruising around. I pulled out a little 3x5 card or whatever, basically like a little, you know, a card that you use in school to, you know, make notes and stuff for class or whatever. Flash card, there we go. 4x6 flash card, there we go. And I wrote down a little script, and then that way, whenever somebody comes in, I'm just going to read that. Now even Mick's left, I guess. I don't know. Anyways. So I'm just going to read that, and that way, that should answer all the questions. If they don't understand that, I don't know what else to do. I really don't. But, Captain Arish is telling me he gets, he may not get a lot of questions like I get in the stream or in his stream, but he does get a lot of stuff. People whisper, and he said a lot of times people say some really god-awful things to him in these little messages on Twitch, which I don't quite I don't get why they would do that, because he's a very easygoing person, doesn't seem to have a mean bone in his body. All right, 11750 kind of thing. Oops. I think this is going to be our biggest change coming up here. Oops. He's a very pleasant person, and all right, now we got to go on a heading of 157. This is our most significant change coming up. Yeah, I just boggled my mind that people would say, message him some really god-awful stuff. All right, now this is going to be the tricky part here, folks. I'm kind of going off course here, trying to get this sorted out. So we're going to have to start dropping some altitude. But anyway, I don't know what else to do. I asked him for some advice, and he told me basically, I just have to relax and just have fun with it, because that's what people are expecting. And sometimes I guess, I get that, and I try to, be reasonable about it. But other times it's like I've been reasonable, and it's just like it's not making any difference sort of thing. All right, let's call into Grazzanise. We should be close enough that we can go ahead and get... There it is. Grazzanise. It might be Grazzanise, it might be Grazzanise. Oh, I know why it's not showing, because it's a tack can. Okay. So there's our airport right there. So we're going to kind of just keep losing altitude. We'll come back around and we'll drop some speed and drop some altitude, and then we'll come in. Let's see, where is our... runway is down, right, okay, right there. So we'll just go ahead and turn that guideline off, and we'll come up with our own sort of plan. Oh yeah, I'm just going to drop altitude, and we will be on the ground shortly. Go ahead and start slowing down even more. Oops. No, 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 don't climb, don't climb, don't climb, don't climb. Altitude low, lower the altitude, not climb up. Man. Well, thank you all for coming in today. Kind of a quiet day, I guess. So maybe tomorrow people will be back willing to talk. I don't know. Maybe I've scared everybody off. Or here everybody comes in towards the end as typical. Oh well, whatever. Oh, I think I lost my airport. Where did they go? No. Oh well. I guess today is just one of those days. Where did my airbase go? Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to put the, oops. Come on, plane. Work with me here. Alright, now when it's gonna, nose is gonna go way up and I'm gonna stall. Alright. Now I know where. Okay. Now I kind of know the general direction. I thought I did. Boy, you have your airport, and then all of a sudden you make some turns to try to drop altitude, and then it just disappears on you. Man. Where'd this thing go? Boy, I'm losing my mind here. Okay. Yeah, I gotta climb because otherwise I'm gonna be... I tell you, I lost it again. I know this is the right direction, roughly. Wow, I am just having a doozy of a time today. Alright, well, I guess what I'm going to have to do is open that back up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Actually, it seems like we're... Oh, there it is, right there. Alright, got it. Man. Goodness gracious. Well, thank you for the 1 thumbs up. Appreciate that. And here I thought I was gonna land with a big old 0. And that's okay if it happens that way. Sometimes that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. It's just the way it is. Don't you believe it? Ian Harrison, well, thank you. Yeah, it's a nice little plane. We're over Italy. We're getting ready to land here in Grosseto, or Grazzanise. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or not, but yeah. Fun little plane to fly, military little trainer jet, also used for like ground attack roles and stuff like that, you know, small. Doesn't have a turbo, you know, doesn't have an afterburner, but it's pretty fast for its size, I think. I'm going to come in a little too steep here, but I should have popped the speed brake. That's what I should have done. All right, there we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Grazzanise. Local time is probably 2:16 in the afternoon, I'm guessing. Probably about an hour ahead of UK time. Oh, let me see where we're going to turn off that. We understand and appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. We're glad that you chose to fly with us today. We'll be back tomorrow in the A320 going from Barcelona to London Gatwick. I think there's this is not a proper taxiway here. And then we're going to take the PC-6 and head from Homer to Girdwood in Alaska. Should be some really nice scenery there. So looking forward to that. So 2 viewer requested flights. Mr. Addy's requested the first flight for tomorrow. And Mick requested the second flight. We will get those knocked out taxiway's way down here. That's okay. And yeah, so we'll be back 7:30 Eastern. Yeah, it's a neat little jet. It's fun to fly. It's just the only thing is you don't have any kind of, there's no autopilot, but it has, you can use different kinds of navigation. Now, if you did an IFR flight, yeah, that would be very difficult because there's not an autopilot system that would navigate it for you. So that's the only drawback. But otherwise, if you just do a quick little flight, it's not a. Oh yeah, the beat. Yeah, that is a. I've seen it. I thought about it, but yeah, I've heard a lot of people really enjoy that little plane. But this one's not too bad. Definitely if you want to add something kind of fun to fly that doesn't have it, you have to actually fly it. There's no autopilot or anything. This is definitely a recommendation right here. Hello, Patrice. You're here just as when you're ready to call it a day. Get the canopy open there. Luckily, we don't have very far to text. Oh, well, thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. Oh, no worries, Patrice. It was, some days it's like a lot of people come in, and other days it's like, it's hit and miss. That's the thing. I just, you never know. So, I appreciate that, Harrison. Or Ian, I'm sorry. We do try to fly 7 days a week. I'll give you this other semi-professional spiel here in just a moment as we taxi. But it's okay, Patrice. You don't have to apologize or explain. It's all good. You can be here. You can be here. If not, it's. Oops. Wow. I thought the person there, just in front of the canopy, is the one that I was supposed to be turning towards. Not the other person, but that's all right. Yeah, we're gonna come in. Oh, I'm gonna clip this person. Oops, a daisy. Sorry, dude. All right, 33 minutes, 38 seconds. Not a bad flight. It said it was about a 45-minute flight, I think. But yeah. Anyway, real quick, since Ian's a new viewer, streaming rules and regulations require me to give you the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We just flew the MB-339 Alpha from Aramaki. We departed from Grosseto and we landed at Grazzanise. Both of these are Italian air bases. I'm not currently accepting requests for flights. Mondays, Wednesdays, and eventually Fridays is vintage aviation-themed flights. Tuesday is jetliners, including regional jets. We don't have the CRJs yet on the Xbox, but when we do, those will be featured. Thursday, today was the debut of Military Aviation Thursday. Next Thursday will be in the F-14. Saturdays is P-38 Lightning flights. We're currently flying over in California. We're going to former Army Air Corps bases in California. and then we're going to kind of make our way across into some other states and fly in some of those to some of those former Army Air Corps bases, which are either now civilian airports or have been were transferred over to the Air Force when the Air Force was created. Sunday is our scenic flights. We try to find interesting places around the world to just enjoy the scenery. Last Sunday, or earlier this week, we flew around Athens, Greece. This coming Sunday, we will be in Gibraltar. So that's what we've got coming up. But thank you for coming in and hanging out. Excuse me. Got the burpees. Anyway, that is going to be it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. And thank you all for the 3 thumbs up. Thank you for coming in when you're able to. And I will see you tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 12:30 UK. We will kick off our flight from Barcelona to London Gatwick. And what else? So do enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, early Friday morning, depending on where you are in the world. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.